You need to be responsible for subordinates and things like that. You need to take care of your people. Without our troops, our nation is defenseless. No one. 안녕하세요. Hello, my name is Brendan and I'm from the United States. I was a United States Marine where I fought in 2 campaigns in Afghanistan from 2010 to 2011. Now I live in South Korea where I am a pro MMA fighter. There's 2 different types of veterans. There's combat veterans who are still in the military, who have experience, and then there's veterans who's fought and then they exit the military. Any veteran is respected because they served inside the military, but combat veterans are highly respected because they went to war. You can always tell in America who's actually fought in war and who actually seen things because it's a different personality and mentality and things. A lot of my friends never knew I went to war or I fought in war because I don't really go off, but the guys who's just regular veterans, they make it known like, I served my country and stuff like that, but the guys who's fought in war really don't talk about it like that, because they know what they've done and they know what they had to do, so there's no need to go and try to prove yourself, So today we're going to talk about things that I found shocking about the Korean military system. So the first one is the low pay. In the American military, I joined the Marine Corps when I was 18 years old. As soon as I turned 18, I signed the contract, went off. My pay going into the Marine Corps was roughly around $1,200. 120만 원. That was my pay for when I first went in as very low grade, as a private. But when I did ROTC in my high school, as soon as I graduated, I was promoted. I was getting like $1,200 during that time when I was in boot camp. As soon as I graduated from the Marine Corps, my rank went up and I was able to get paid more. That was the difference, and I saw that. What is the pay for the Korean military? So I think maybe it's like roughly what, $100, $200, something like that a month for Korean military, which is really, really low. You need money to survive. No one expects to get rich from being in the military, but you do need to have something for your time, to be able to make a life outside of the military once you exit. I don't know if Korean military does hazardous pay. Whenever you go into a combat zone, there's a higher chance for you to be shot or be injured. So in American military, we get paid hazardous pay. When we go to Afghanistan, you get your regular pay, then you get combat pay, hazardous pay, things like that. But when I came back from Afghanistan, I had over $20,000 from hazardous pay, things like that. And I'm just really shocked because you put your life on the line, especially the guys that's on post near the North Korean border. I feel like they should be getting hazardous pay for that because there was a couple of incidences back in the 2014, 2015 where there was shots going back and forth at the border. That's a firefight. And at that point, if you get into a firefight at any time, you are now a combat veteran. You fired your weapon. So I feel like if that's going to be the case, they should be recognized for that and they should receive combat pay. It's only fair. Number 2 is going to be the food. The food is, although it is edible, and we should all be humble and grateful, it is not that good. I'm going to be honest, it's not that good. If we rewind it back to the clips of me eating food before, you will see why. Most guys don't want to go to the military, not because of the duty, it's because of the food. I can definitely understand it now. Honestly, if I was Korean, I wouldn't want to go either. The food standard is really not that good. In South Korea, the nutrition is good, but the quality and the amount is not enough for you to be training every single day. So I feel like it was a really big shocker because in the American military, it's a lot of food, but it's not really healthy. When I went to the Marine Corps, because of the amount of food I ate, I went up to 70부터 80kg. So that was because of a lot of food I ate and working out, I got bigger. But my natural body weight is 70kg. The amount was a lot, but it was unhealthy. It was really the big shocker of the food and dietary habits in the Korean military. In the American military, the food is really tasty. They serve a lot of things, and especially in war, depending on the situation, we really get spoiled, to be honest. There was a situation, we came back from patrol, in Afghanistan, and a lot of our guys wasn't really eating at all. We went on hunger strike because we were eating MREs all the time, and at the time I wasn't eating for 2, 3, 4 days. I was like, you know what, screw these MREs, I'm not gonna eat them at all because I'm sick of it. So our platoon commander actually had the translator to contact the village, and they prepared food. We ate goat that night, and they prepared the food. It was a goat, rice, things like that, and naan, the bread, that as well. So we ate goat that day because all of us wasn't eating, and if you don't eat, then you can't perform. So they switched it up and ordered that. So That was really shocking that how the Korean military don't really go the distance when it comes to dietary habits. If I were to eat the Korean food every day like that, I couldn't handle that every single day. I mean, it's the same thing. It really brings down the morale when it comes to Korean soldier. Like some food is tasty, some food is nutritious, but if you don't build the morale of the soldier, they can go on hunger strike, and then when they go on hunger strike, they don't have the energy, etc., so forth. So no, I could not. I mean, I could eat it one time, but every single day the same meat, no, I could not. Despite the Korean dietary habits in the military, I do respect and like how Korean soldiers always find a way to make things better. For example, if you remember the Korean strawberry milk, I honestly think that this is a trolling. They really do this in the military? You guys are genius. Oh wow, that was good. Like, it was really creative, and I definitely introduced it to a lot of my friends. I'm like, guys, you gotta try this. I don't understand it. I still don't understand it. It blows my mind, like how they took the strawberry jam, regular milk, and just dumped it in there, shook it up, and next thing you know, it's a whole new dish. I'm like, wow. I'm still shocked at that. Oh man, so I respect that. That was shocking to me as well, how the officers are respected and treated way better with food and things like that. And that's not fair. A real leader, a real officer will always look after their men. It doesn't matter if it's American or Korean. If you're a real officer, you're gonna take care of your soldiers, because without your soldiers, you don't have a unit to lead. You need to be responsible for your subordinates and things like that. You need to take care of your people. So for example, in the American military, there was something that happened. There was a situation where I got into it with a staff NCO. Me and him bumped heads. Like it's just when I came back from Afghanistan, so I was very belligerent, and I didn't take crap from anybody. So I had a staff sergeant that was coming to me. He'd never been to war. He's never fought in any combat. His job was not infantry. So here I am, a salty lance corporal. Salty means like veteran. So I came to my new unit, and he's trying to, like, I guess, belittle me because I'm a lower rank. But he was very jealous because I had comeback experience. Like, he was getting in my face, and I was ready to fight him, you know. But I'm like, okay, you're not gonna disrespect me. You're a boot, someone that's never been deployed, and you're gonna come to me and talk to me like I'm nothing, you know. I will fight somebody for that. So the officer there in the unit actually came to talk with me, because, you know, he's a combat veteran as well. So he talked with me and set me down and said, hey, ignore him, you know what you've done. Don't worry about guys like that. That's a real officer, you know, someone that looks after the well-being of their men. And the last one I wanna say is how the Korean military doesn't really look after their veterans once they get out. The reason how I know is because if they did, then I feel like that a lot of Korean soldiers would really respect the military more and be more prone to go in if there was contingency plan. Example, I went to war when I was 19 years old. At that time, I'm gonna be honest, I did not plan on coming home because it was during the time of war. I was going to die. I didn't care live or die. I was going there to war for a reason. I was young, single, didn't have a family, no wife, no kids, so I had nothing to lose. But I did make it. And I found out that there was things that were happening for veterans outside. Like, there was a veterans program, and depending on the situation of war, if you were injured or something like that, you would be taken care of. Even if you weren't injured, there were still benefits for veterans. Yeah, I have like my military ID where I can go to the base, any base in the world. Like, I get like a certain amount each month or things like that from my government that looks after me. If I'm sick, I can go to military hospital, etc., so forth. If I want any job, I bring in that's like a point verified. So if, for example, if there's a guy with a college degree, I have a college degree, but I have my form that I'm a veteran, I overstep him and I can get the job before him. But in the Korean military, they don't really have things to really look out for the guys who serve, and I don't think that's quite fair. I think the treatment for American soldiers and Marines and Korean soldiers and Marines are different. I wish that South Korean military would do the same for their soldiers as well. Without our troops, our nation is defenseless. If not for them, you know, we wouldn't have any defense. So I feel like the treatment of soldiers should be really pushed up to the highest. So today we talked about things I found shocking about South Korean military. If you like this video, be sure to comment below, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Soon.